Programmers and developers, if you're tired of being undervalued by your boss or making others rich with your programming skills, and you're finally ready to take a step towards acquiring ownership in a company through your skills, you are the person we're looking for. So take the next few minutes to clear away your schedule and review this, because you're going to want to hear what we have to say right now. Hi, this is Kyle Jetzel with Pitch to Sell. We do something unique in that we are a business that was designed and developed by programmers just like you, that was created to do just what I mentioned in the opening. Do you remember? That's right. Give you an opportunity to gain ownership in a company. But here's the cool part. You can gain ownership without having to suffer all the common pitfalls of what typically happens when you try to partner with others. But before I get into how all that happens, real quick, let me make one thing very clear right now. This isn't for every programmer. If you don't really have an entrepreneurial spirit, or you're into get-rich-quick schemes, or you don't understand the value and benefit of hard work, then you can log off now. This isn't for you. But if you're ready to properly value what you do, if you're a professional that understands that it takes real work to become successful, and you're ready to gain ownership in a company in exchange for the value you can provide, like we mentioned before, without having to suffer all the common pitfalls, then you'll want to review this and you'll want to get started today. We'll only be offering this program in this way for a limited time, and you'll see why we have to do it this way as we go. So we're guessing you're the kind of person who probably understands what we're talking about when we mention common pitfalls that programmers face, right? You may have experienced it. Your neighbor's cousin approaches you and says, "Hey, I have an idea for a program, and if you'll build it, I'll give you half." You've probably heard this, and if not, you will at some point. Or maybe you have an idea that you're sure you can make money with if you can just get it into the market. It's exciting to think that you can build something and the world will beat a path to your door and you'll get rich, especially if you're a brand new programmer and you haven't experienced how things can go wrong, especially if you're confident in your idea. You see, way too many programmers, maybe even you, are currently working for someone else, and you build the software and do all the work. Then they sell it over and over and over and get paid again and again and again. You get paid once. They keep getting paid for your work over and over and over. They get rich while you trade time for money, and they control your future, and they decide what they want to pay you. And that's why so many non-programmers are always trying to get you to do something for them. They want to capitalize on your skills. They don't have the skills. They want to leverage you to make money. But if you have ownership, it all changes dramatically. You build the software once, and you can get paid over and over and over again. That's why being a programmer in software is such a great business to be in. But if you're a skilled programmer, the kind we're looking to partner with, you may have already experienced some of the common pitfalls that can become part of the equation as you try to take an idea from concept to reality to market. These are the things no one's really going to tell you about, and that will cause you some real distress and cost you a lot of money. Believe me, we know. We've suffered through and paid for most of these personally as part of our learning process. So we're not going to go into too many details of everything that can go wrong. Hey, we don't want this to be 8 hours long, but generally, 99% of the common pitfalls that can happen can easily be lumped into two categories: people and processes. Now you may be wondering why we didn't mention ideas here as one of the three common pitfalls. Sure, a bad idea is a pitfall, but who says the idea is bad? We believe the market decides, but until an idea makes it to market through people and processes, all you have is a dream. The truth is, ideas are a dime a dozen. An idea is not good or bad. Well, okay, some of them are bad, but we don't always know until the market decides, right? Take the pet rock, for example. What a horrible idea, right? Wrong. A rock in a milk carton sold more than 1.5 million pet rocks for $4 each. Look it up. Now we know this is a product, but you get the idea. The market decides, but only if the people and processes get that product to market. So now that that's out of the way, let's briefly talk about common people pitfalls. You probably already know there is story after story of programmers that have partnered with businesses and neighbors' cousins that do all the work, complete the project, deliver the project, and when the partner gets some sort of control, they just don't pay, or they find a way to cancel the agreement. Seriously, you don't have to take our word for it. Look it up. This happens all the time. The partner simply takes everything, especially if they have deeper pockets, and then challenges you to try to get what you can. But let's say you have an ironclad agreement. Bad things can still happen with people. I mean, we knew about how often this happened and did just that. We had an ironclad agreement, and the business owner still tried to leave us high and dry. More than 8 months later, with the help of a high-priced attorney, one that we now have on staff, by the way, we finally got paid what we were due. The whole thing was hugely stressful and horrible, and if you can't afford an attorney, you're out of luck and usually out of business. You see, software doesn't have mood swings and bad days and get lazy and try to sue you. Software doesn't change priorities or have family emergencies or get greedy or devalue what you do after you've done it. But people do. You must have everything in place to properly address people, or you will see issues arise, maybe even catastrophic issues. Now let's briefly cover processes, or what we'll refer to as business minutia. Business minutia is what is required to actually do business from a legal standpoint. And if you've never owned a business, and most haven't, you probably have no idea about all the required legal minutia you've got to have in place to even be legal. Seriously, not knowing everything can really cost you, and possibly even leave you in serious debt. Listen to this. We've got a good friend who actually built a program that was doing real well for a specific market who got an unexpected bill from the IRS demanding more than $230,000. He thought, because he was a programmer and hadn't learned all the ins and outs of running a business, remember, the business minutia, that he was good to go, at least until he got saddled with this huge tax burden. Can you imagine the fear, the stress? Holy crap, this is the IRS and they don't play. You're rolling along, ramping up your business, and all of a sudden, bam, the IRS slams you with that. Thank goodness we didn't have to learn that lesson ourselves. You've got to make sure your business is set up properly and legally, and all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted so there's no surprises. Here's the deal. All businesses must pay attention to business details. To mention a few of them, things like setting up an LLC, ensuring the accounting is happening properly, and all the legal, both local and federal requirements are met. These are things that must happen to ensure your protection. Oh, and there's a real cost to this. Typically, it's in the thousands of dollars to ensure it's done right. At Pitch to Sell, we solve all those problems, both the people and the processes, on the front end. Everything from A to Z. We create and manage the agreements between the people and remove those barriers, and we manage the LLCs, the projects, we even set up banking accounts. We handle everything. That way, you can focus your time and provide your value doing what you do best, programming. That's what we do for you here at Pitch to Sell. You just do what you do best, program. That's it. The other thing we do that is so powerful is this. Maybe you've got the programming skills, but you don't really have a great idea. That's what we do that is so unique. We connect the people looking for your expertise. We'll call them innovators. We connect the innovators with skilled, qualified programmers like you so that you can finally stop trading your time for money and gain ownership so you can start reaping the rewards of ownership while removing all your risk. So why would we make this offer to you? Why are we offering ownership for skilled, qualified programmers that are willing to take ownership and reap the rewards? Our system is already full of ideas that the innovators have submitted that are ready to be reviewed and bid for partnering. And this just isn't your neighbor's cousin who walks up to you and says, "Hey, you're a programmer, right? I have an idea," and then expects you to build it all out, do all the work, and spend all your time for them without doing anything, and then manage the people relationships and the business minutia. These are ideas that have been vetted and described in detail so that you can review them, do some research into their market, and decide based on whatever knowledge you can glean that it's an idea worth investing your time and your skills in. You focus on what you do best. The stuff that will take you 10 times as long to do, because you're not an expert at it, we do for you, and you are protected and treated, especially financially, as an owner. You see, there are tons of innovators out there, unlike your neighbor's cousin, who actually have great ideas and are serious enough to invest in them. Listen to this. Innovators can't just load up ideas willy-nilly. There's a qualification process, including a monetary investment for any idea that anyone would like to submit. That's right, they have to commit. They have to have some skin in the game to even be considered. And sometimes it's a lot of skin in the game. This way, we weed out your neighbor's cousin who is a dreamer and will never take any action. So here's the question for you. Are you a dreamer or are you an action taker? I ask that because there is an application for you too, right? That's fair. I'll tell you what it is here in 30 seconds, and I'll let you know that it's next to nothing compared to what the innovators commit. But first I want to say this. Just as there are hundreds of thousands of neighbors' cousins out there with wacky, dreamy ideas that we filter out for you so you don't waste your time, there are probably just as many programmers out there that we need to weed out for our innovators. We're doing for them what we're doing for you. We have to ensure for them that you've got skin in the game too, even if it's minimal. Obviously, there are programmers, just like idea guys, who won't invest anything to really become successful, just like the wacky idea guys. And if that's you, go ahead and leave now. Now, I know that's harsh, but if you know you've got what it takes, or you're tired of trading time for money or making someone else rich, and you're ready to take real, legal ownership in a business and reap the rewards that can come with it, then you need to start right away. So, what's the application fee? It's $59, and that $59 gets you full access to review all the ideas from the innovators, and it will get you started on the path to ownership and all the benefits that come with it. What you get for your $59 is access to start reviewing and bidding on your sweat equity ownership of projects that you decide are worthy of your time and focus. Now, I should let you know, there are other programmers that are starting to bid on ownership, and the sooner you get started, the better chance you'll have of choosing the project you like the best, as when the bidding closes, it closes. I also need to mention that as part of the application fee, you'll also get started in the process of gaining access to the bonus holdings. What do I mean by bonus holdings? Listen to this. When you get involved with Pitch to Sell and get your product into market, you are not only a major shareholder in your products, but in addition, you automatically become a shareholder in all the profits of all the product LLCs that go to market from the time your application is accepted. You become a shareholder in the bonus holdings. You see, 50% of the profits that are coming in are put into bonus holdings, and all of the shareholders, that being you, once you become vested, take part in the distributions of the bonus holdings. Think about that. You get a payout based on sales from other products as long as you remain active and continue to contribute. So why would we do that? Remember, our founders are programmers and want to mitigate as much risk as possible. They've worked on, let's just call them ideas that didn't sell, and spent their time for nothing in return. They do not want that to happen to any programmer. This way, as other products thrive and sell, you get paid. By the way, that's a really big reason why the application fee won't stay $59 for long. Bonus holdings, payouts from other products, are way attractive. Listen, we believe there is no better way ever to get started acquiring ownership and starting to get paid over and over and over for what you build. We couldn't be more confident that we've created a way to help you leverage your skills and minimize all the risks of starting today. There's no better time than right now to get started. So, does that sound reasonable? For only $59 right now, you get started reviewing ideas of innovators that are committed to partnering with you, and that alone is worth more than $59, but you'll also begin the process of automatically becoming a shareholder in our bonus holdings program. How exciting is that? Keep in mind, if you have any interest at all, now is the time to get started. Like we said, we can't guarantee how long the application fee will stay at $59, so get started today. Listen, I'm not asking you to go into debt. I'm just asking you to fill out an application fee that will have a long-lasting effect on your family and your life, instead of just blowing it on something that will just fade away and you will lose. Get started today. Hey, it's $59. There's no hidden fees. There's no catch. The market pays for value. And that's why we love software. You build it once and sell it over and over and over. If you build it for someone else, they pay you once and they sell it over and over and over and get paid over and over. Isn't it time you got paid over and over and over for the work you did, it's your time to get paid. Get started today. So, that's the deal. We've seen way too many people stop dreaming and way too many ideas die because too many won't act. If you've been thinking about getting ahead for too long, or you're frustrated because you don't know what to do to leverage your skills and turn them into money, it's time to act. We're here to give you everything you need to start today. So what's stopping you? Get started today. If you still have questions, simply email us at questions@pitchtosell.com or call our secure voicemail line at 323-642-7355 and leave a detailed message with your full name and address, phone, and email, and we'll return your call right away and answer all your questions so you can get started. This has been Kyle Jetzel with Pitch to Sell. Your time is now.